good evening, ladies and Germans. Tonight I, the master of ceremonies, Sir Shot Corduroy, am proud to present to you the Tony Award-winning Broadway tragic musical, Them Bitches Don't Know Shit About My 40-Inch Dick, written, produced, and directed by Grampy Honey Dribbles.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, attach the safety harnesses built into your seats and prepare to gaze in amazement as after 89 years and $350 trillion deducted from the national treasury, my piece de resistance, my crowning achievement of all theatrical projects, is finally ready to be unleashed before your very eyes this night. Alas, woe is me, for hysterically undersized is my cock. It is not even perceivable to an insect's eyes when solid as a rock. For how much longer must I endure such unrelenting humility, along with the fact that the non-existent size renders me without fertility?
Well, ye old ahoos, you'll have to pardon the glass-shattering intrusion, but I couldn't help but overhear your many frets in lieu of your underwhelming penile protrusion. The Dingleberry Fairy's my name, and artificially enlarging one's trouser trombone, well, I must proclaim, that is indeed my game.
Surely you're nothing more than yet another jester, or perhaps a molester of one's crotch covering polyester.
You are wrong on both accounts, my dicky old chum. For truly when your operation is done, and I have worked my many tricks on your prick, them bitches won't know shit about your 40-inch dick.
Sweet Mother Goose's curds and ways, if truly that is what you can do, then I do not know how I could ever possibly repay.
Worry not about the monetary compensation, and instead, focus all attention to your phallic elongation, for as we speak my magic is at work, and in less than 12 hours, you will be free to shirk your newly enlarged gurk.
The next morning.
Oh me, oh my, what a beautiful morning it is. For the first time in a while I didn't have to count any sheep, for I truly had a wonderful night's sleep. Perhaps it was the dangerous cocktail of illicit tranquilizers coursing throughout my veins, or the penile protracting procedure rooted deeply in the arcane. Either way, I can't feel anything below my waist, so it is impossible to tell what the Dingleberry Fairy on my loins might have graced. To unveil the results I will have to pull back my sheets, anxious to glance upon my newly bestowed trouser meats. My trembling hands slowly creep underneath my downy goose cover, occasionally tickling my torso like that of a mischievous lover, until eventually my digits take hold of something thick as a brick. No, it couldn't be. Is that actually my dick? I bite down on my lip as I grasp the sides of my quilt and toss them off to my hilt. Oh, it's everything that I've always dreamed of. From tip to toe and hip to hip, across my sternum and over my nips. My worries are spirited away by my newfound wang's wealth, 40 inches long, that is, in breadth. Oh, yes, shoo, yes, shoo. And it even works right proper too. How very Jim Dandy on the old loo. And even though it appears that Fairy has cut out and purloined all of my vital organs, I'm quite content with my dangly parts no longer feeling like orphans. And with that said, I do believe I shall set off to town, so as to come 110 buckets and hopefully cause all passers-by to instantaneously drown. Strutting down the avenue with nary a worry in my fluttering heart, I arrive upon the town square, the sheer jollity of it all causing me to expel a small but horrendously malodorous fart. The puckered-faced people clear a path in my oh-so-stenchful way, as I begin working at my belt buckle to unleash my carnal cudgel for some perverted play. However, right as I'm just about to extract my prodigious protuberance from down under, I am accosted by an antagonistic associate from many a year yonder.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I sense somewhere in the vicinity the microscopic penis of an Englishman.
Finally my defining moment in life had arrived, a strapping chance to cock-slap a torturous tormentor onto his backside.
So tell me, my dearest lifelong chum, Does it take a magnifying glass and a couple of toothpicks to make you come?
Using a mystical technique taught to me by an African shaman many a year back, I am able to channel all of my undiluted rage straight into my big marvelous Mac.
You know your pecker's small when it is trumped in size by its neighboring lice, though on the upside, I do suppose you'd have no problem whatsoever sexually pleasuring female pygmy mice.
Yes, fine denizens, gather round to see firsthand a man fallibly separated from his own crown.
Ors, I have been watching from right a distance and I gotta say I like your style. I'm a fagotty Swedish businessman. How about coming to work for me for a while? Vet your big dick and lust for blood. Will corner the toilet paper market and leave the competition behind in the mud.
Oh, happy day. Finally an opportunity to escape the mind-numbing drudgery of living inside a Jägermeister cave and make the big bucks at a massive corporation, all thanks to my impressive third leg. But I think we better hightail it out of here before we meet up with the cops. That is, unless of course you want me to dish out some more head-severing vengeance with my magnificent cock.
Well, here we are. Squirts and splurts are us. In our toiletry tissues, your pooper can most certainly trust. Mr. Swedish Fish Heads wanted me to personally show you around the place, and afterwards, if you'd like, I could take you back to my place. Tee-hee-hee, girlish giggles.
Bitch, I don't need no skanky asshole grinding on my jumbo-sized Johnson. I'm grilled like the internal workings of an automobile motherfucker, decked out with blink-hutching I found accumulated in the waste bag of my dirt devil vacuum sucker.
Ors, now why don't just stop making those horrible fucking noises just kanske you'll blabbery bitch, and go guide me and my nosebordinat some coffee before I drop your dead body off in a ditch. Now then, vitt hat obnoxos slag out of the way, what say you and I go to our first company meeting to it to start off this wonderful day.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the board. As your cherished commander-in-chief promised you all yesterday, standing here before you is the man with a schlong that puts to shame many a culinary gourd.
As the senior executive of this lucrative company, I'm afraid I must protest, as I fail to see how inaugurating a man with a 4-foot-long down will leave us in anything but a semen-soaked fiscal mess.
Your many concerns are duly noted, my dearest head of financial directors, but I'm afraid we simply have no room to accommodate worrywarts such as yourself on our newly formed board of directors.
By Joe, this lumbering-loined lunatic is just the sort of go-getter we need, a ridiculously phallically endowed psychopath to help spread our many soulless corporate seeds.
Then it is unanimously agreed upon, fellow top brass and workmen alike, for by this time tomorrow, my super-soaking schlong will have drenched the competition to the point of no longer being able to visually perceive light.
6.5 months later.
Plentiful poontang to the left of me, 7-digit paychecks to the right. A towering pillar of unmitigated masculinity pounding in the middle. If I do say so myself, I do believe this is what one from the ghettos would refer to as the undeniable shite.
Sorry to intrude at such an untimely hour, but I'm afraid I have some rather perturbing news which I can no longer stand to sour.
Well then spit it out, why don't you glorified under-armpit taint? Lest of course you'd rather fancy a face full of all-natural ballsack brewed projectile penile paint.
Alas, the secret which I am about to reveal to you is indeed a deplorable one, but the time has come, and my dicky old chum, I'm afraid you must finally learn the truth about your godlike gifted sperm-spraying gun.
HMM? Now why does that voice sound so sod-poppingly familiar?
I imagine it should, you cock-crazed crackerjack, for it was I who bestowed you with your cartoonishly oversized trouser-tearing pecker-pack. The Dingleberry Fairy was nothing more than a ruse, a diabolical disguise forged for nothing more than to enthuse and amuse. And were it not for your monumental meat-molded monstrosity, you would have garnered none of these spoiled riches. not your job, your shit-scared employees, or especially the droves of your subservient bitches.
What at the hogwash? I do proclaim, the workers at my company are all here at their own volition. That is, unless of course they want to be dragged kicking and screaming into a back alley and phallically forced into a doggy-style position.
Oh my poor deluded disciple, you still don't get it, do you? You didn't honestly think your wonking willy came with absolutely no price? For my dearest graying hams, I'm afraid I've come here today to claim your splooge-splurting soul as my eternally tormentable prize.
Oh God, no. It can't be true. It just can't be. No.